What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick Incursion raid update video in regards to the Mutant section. So we have been averaging about 50% now daily for the new 2.2. And keep in mind, this is the one with the revised Mutant sections. Unfortunately, still haven't been able to power through the boss nodes, but I can actually solo now nodes 1 and 2 without any of the Extreme X-Men. So I do want to showcase that for you guys because my strategy has changed a little bit since they've reworked this. But that way, for you folks out there building the Extreme X-Men, at least you can know how to get through the first two nodes using the same dev seed team plus Apocalypse. Still very feasible. It's really the answer to the boss node that's everyone's having issues with right now, and it seems like Extreme X-Men may be the only solution. We've gone through it a couple of times when we power through and use all our teams, but I mean, that's been the approach so far for our alliance, really the Mutant section. So let me walk you guys through the characters, upgrade levels and so forth, and then I'll walk you through my nodes 1 and 2 attempt. So it goes out saying you pretty much need a big Apocalypse fully upgraded at gear tier 18 to get this done. If you guys don't have them upgraded, then maybe Extreme X-Men may be the best alternative, building them up if you're this high in the end game. But yeah, he's pretty much needed for the node 1 to eliminate the RNG. Yeah, upgrade everything. He's going to be a huge asset for your roster anyways. We got Nemesis here providing some additional healing and support, and you can see I actually brought him into Dark Dimension 6, so he was already gear tier 18 when these new raids came out, obviously making notable impact because of how tanky he is with the gear tier upgrades. We got Archangel here also at gear tier 18. I brought him up actually since the last Incursion raids, as I didn't actually have big Apocalypse. I made a huge difference, but having these three higher levels definitely made a big difference for my node playthrough. We got Magneto here at gear tier 17, and I was lucky enough to get a diamond 2 on him, so it definitely helps with his stats. But yeah, he's pretty notable in the second node, especially with his blind. And then last but not least, guys, we have Dark Beast here, gear tier 17, fully upgraded. He's a very pivotal member of the team with the assist attacks. And sorry, I forgot about Psylocke here, being the final member, gear tier 17 as well, and having the evasion and dodges provided to the team is absolutely huge for the survival. So there you guys have it. The 6 pivotal characters that I use for nodes 1 and nodes 2, and I can one-shot both of them. So having said that, let's get right to it. Yeah, I'm just glad that at least these teams are still able to get through the first couple of nodes without having to invest in Extreme X-Men, but it's looking like more and more, if you want to go up to the higher levels and difficulties, especially taking care of the boss node, you're going to need to bring in the Extreme X-Men. But for the time being, at least this team can get the job done. This is the standard that I use right here. You're going to have to wait at the beginning for the enemies to use their attacks, obviously, but ideally Apocalypse should be the one that goes first. We want to be using his empowered ability actually on Dormammu. By finishing off Dormammu, we can get the turn meter going here, thanks to Archangel having the passive attacks. The next target I do typically aim for is going to be Rhino. Just taking him down, if there is a failed attempt here, at least you know that you can bring in Magneto for the next attempt, with taking care of Rhino's passive where he prevents blinds from occurring. So by doing so, Rhino's pretty squishy as well. You should be able to take him down. And then at this point, we're in a really good position. Personally, I always go for cloning Quicksilver, just because if you can get a chance to use his abilities, it's going to be very advantageous for our team to get energy back. But as well, having Quicksilver's abilities on our inside will, really upscale the tide of battle here. At this point, you should be hopefully able to get our Apocalypse to get his second turn here, and then ability blocking either Quicksilver or Captain Sam I think makes the most sense. You really have to go with the flow and see which enemies you want to take down, because sometimes the damage can crit differently based on the attempts. But this is typically my routine in terms of the attack order, and it seems consistent from what I've seen. And then again now, at this point, you should be able to get Nemesis to go again. We're going to aim for that middle with the special there, just to regen a little bit, and we should be finally now getting a chance to use Quicksilver's abilities on our side. And it's gonna be huge, just having his basic abilities going against the enemy Quicksilver. And we're in a really good spot. You should be able to use Psylocke to cleanse and clear whatever debuffs are on our team, assuming there's no trauma, finishing off the Quicksilver, and it's gonna be pretty smooth sailing after that, right? So surprisingly enough, I've heard this node actually has a lot of RNG, but I've almost one-shot it every time since the new release. So I think this is very consistent. But be mindful of the fact that I do have a pretty beefy Nemesis and Archangel. I think it'll be okay if you have a little bit of a lower Nemesis, but Archangel being at gear tier 18, I think is definitely a huge difference maker in this node, and it eliminates a lot of the RNG. So I think Garrett tier 17 for both those characters can still get it done, but probably a little bit more luck with the RNG. But as you can see, once we take down those key characters, including Quicksilver and Dormammu, it's pretty business here. Like, we're just going through watching the weaker enemies and taking them down. We even have a chance to heal thanks to the Scarlet Witch. I mean, we're looking really, really good on our side. And the other key target then following that is, if you see that both the Captain Sams aren't really getting their turn anytime soon, I think just finishing off enemies with lower HP, right? So Val is a good one too, because you definitely do not want Val to obviously bring back the revive there. So we're okay using abilities because we're going to get the energy back. But yeah, this really does set us up. Make sure you try to just conserve your energy for the next node, because you will be needing some of these abilities, especially if you're planning to do it with Apocalypse in the next node. You know, having his cooldowns is going to be big, or even saving those abilities ultimately for the boss node. So looking really, really good here. And we're just cleaning things up here. And again, the Quicksilver is really big on our team, guys. So there you have it. That's node 1. Pretty easy and straightforward. Now, I've done node 2 here with the full Death Seed and as well as Apocalypse. So I'm just going to go with the Death Seed route, just because this might be a little bit more player friendly if you don't have big Apocalypse unlocked and you're able to attempt node 2. But it is, I think they're difficulty wise, they're both pretty similar. But what you want to do, same strategy, right? We're going to be aiming for one target at the beginning, and that's going to be Red Guardian in that corner. And again, we're going to be relying on the passive attacks and turn me or rewind from Archangel. So we really want to be focusing our damage as much as we can. Once you're able to land the Nemesis ultimate, it's very, very important, guys. If you don't have this node starting with the ultimate, it's pretty much a good game, because you need the trauma to actually land. So that way we are going to be able to use our Magneto ultimate, and it's going to land successfully without Rhino actually passively clearing. So you can see right here, this is where it matters. We finally get a chance here to use the ultimate of the blind. This ensures the survivability of your Death Seed team. If you don't have this combined with Nemesis ultimate, that's when I would opt in and use Apocalypse, because he can also bring trauma to the team and flip. Other than that, we were able to clone as well that shield security, ideally hoping to actually stun Kang on the left there with his ability, but didn't get that chance, so that's okay. We just go ahead, we're gonna resume damage on Kang, because he's definitely the most important target to aim for. You don't want him getting all his abilities off, and thanks to the turn meter rewind that we're getting from Archangel, we get some additional time bought here. But Spiderweaver lands the ability there with the charges, so we basically have to use our basic abilities right now. Can't do too much until those charges fall. So finally, that's good to go there, and we are able to land and finish off Kang, and it kind of snowballs from there, right? It's kind of similar to what we've seen with the first node, is really getting the ball moving with the kills and making sure that the enemies don't really get a turn. And that's kind of why I was saying, like, you know, it's all about just aiming and using the synergies of Death Seed, still being viable. And this is, keep in mind, this is the new 2.2 incursion rates, right? But like I said, this is where it kind of falls off. After this node 2, the boss node, our entire alliance is having issues with. So after you take down those key enemies, including Kang at the beginning here, it's business as usual, especially once we've taken down one of the rogues as well. Now we're just aiming for the weaker targets. If we're able to save up energy, obviously you want to prepare as much as you can. But yeah, it's great to see though that there wasn't lost value, at least in Death Seed. If you guys still have already built up this team and you're slowly working on X-TREME X-Men, this still buys us a little bit more time until we figure out an alternative to the boss node. Or like I said, our alliance has done it a couple times where we've needed to combine all our attacks, but not many of my alliance members can solo a lane like myself. So now that's why I want to get this video out there for more folks to be aware, but as well to know that, you know, you don't need X-TREME X-Men for the first 2 nodes. It's the boss node that's getting a little more tricky, needing to actually burn attacks, and again, that beta rate build is just absolute beast in that boss node, so something we gotta watch out for sure. But you can see this node 2 is no issue, similar to node 1. Not a lot of RNG in my opinion, because I've been very, very consistent in soloing my own lane. But again, it's getting to that boss node, and again, that consistency of getting through those really tanky enemies. So there you guys have it, node 2, node 1 in the new 2.2 rates, using the same Death Seed plus Apocalypse teams that we can still use. So hope this helps you guys in the meantime as we slowly build up our X-TREME X-Men, or until there's more love being added to those teams. Who knows what's going to hold in the future, but I'll keep you guys up to date. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.